What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 69, and finally today the summer window is going to come to an end. We've got 1 week left, but still lots of money in the budget to make new signings. Obviously we've made 10 so far, but I still think 1 or 2 more are coming in, maybe possibly another big departure as well. We'll have more games in the Serie A, aiming to build on our winning start, plus the Conference League phase draw, and possibly match day 1 as well. Loads to get through as always, let's crack straight on. Yeah, it's been crazy, seriously, to start this season off. I mean, it's the 3rd episode and I haven't even got out of August yet. This is like an old school Doc's Career Mode save, man. It would take me forever to actually get through the summer window. My first 2 episodes back in the day were literally just transfers. Didn't play any games in the first 2 episodes back in the day. And this one is somewhat similar. But anyway, here we go. The draw for the Conference League phase. Got Rapid Vienna at home to kick things off with there. Then we've got Nottingham Forest at home. Love to see that. And then we've got back-to-back away trips to PAOK in Greece and Shamrock Rovers in Dublin. Match days 5 and 6 are at home to the Turkish side Kampasa, and away in Turkey against Besiktas. And of course, no match days 7 and 8 in the Conference League. It's wrapped up in 6. So yeah, kind of tricky fixtures there, but I think personally we should be going for top spot in the Conference League this season. We've been asked to win it, we should be going for it too. And as I'll just complete the position change of Kuruma, who is the young fullback we inherited from left back to right back. I've been asked before, Doxy, does it matter if I'm playing my left back at right back if his listed position is a left back? The answer is no. It really makes no impact whatsoever on their player performance, but for aesthetic reasons it's still nice to have them in their official role. Anyway, jumping to our first game, it is away in the beautiful region of Venice, heading into this one here on the back of a brilliant, thrilling 3-0 win on the opening day at home to Genoa. This our first away test here as we aim to build on the winning start and return to top spot. Again, the board have said this season win the treble, so win the Serie A in our first season. Honestly, that is going to be tricky to do, but if the first game is anything to go by, I think we'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. No such problems gelling early doors. But our first away day, Venice, falls out Roma. We're doing it through to Topper. And again, I'm liking this lad a lot, man. Serious effort. I feel like, there's nothing better than, developing youth players from the academy, don't get me wrong. But even when you sign a player like this, it adds to the save, man. It really does. He looks the real deal, and I'm so excited. Speaking of the real deal, when are you going to take those glasses off, Doxy boy? Your eyesight's fine, son. That is clearly just for the fashion since you've arrived in Rome. Oh, and I was changing my manager avatar's outfit for the new team heading into the new season. I thought, you know what? I saw those glasses and I was like, go on, put them on. I actually quite like them, but they're just for decoration. My eyesight is totally fine. As Pasidi having to go again, hits the post, and Venezia will clear. Careful. Nice ball through that, and a brilliant finish by Doumbia. And Venezia have the opener 13 minutes in. Well, this might be what slips us up this season. At home, I feel like the Stadio Olimpico is going to be a bit of a fortress when we're away from home with this new look team. How does the side travel? That can be a big question to ask of a new team with lots of new signings. Yeah, it's fine at home when you've got the creature comforts. When you've got to go on the road, you've got those long road trips away, staying away from home for a couple of nights. How are you going to get on in those kind of endeavours? And yes, I know in career mode it doesn't really have any impact at all, but it's nice to add for the storyline. Even so, 1-0 down earlier, Venezia with the breakthrough against the run of play, and still we find ourselves trailing. With the pass, not the best, and Scalvini bails me out as Fabri will find Camarada. And, lovely ball, and Alfonsi plays an even better one, and Fabre's not going to miss that. Belted in for his second in 2, and first away goal from Rome as well. Well, unlike at Lyon, where he was clearly the out-and-out star, and he had the lion's share of the ball, here in Rome he'd have to share it a lot more. So his minutes and his numbers will probably go down a little bit, but his impact, I'm sure, will still be greater than anyone else on the pitch. Back on level terms, now let's flip the script and win it. Full credit to Venezia because they haven't gone into this game against a clear favourite and thought we'll just take the point, but even though they've had their lead snatched away, they're still looking the better team on the offensive end, and it's another goal! Busio, the young American, or not so young now, in the save, puts Venezia in front 2-1, and this may be our first defeat with Roma. Early warning sign. As much as I would like to blame this defeat on the conditions that I'm not a fan of, as Kuruma hits the crossbar and Venezia escape. and trying to get used to the new camera angle. I'm not going to. Simply put, I've been woeful defensively, and Venezia carving me open twice with easy chances, taking them both. And on the offensive end, just with the four-pronged attack we got, we should have created a lot more tonight, but instead, oh, Joe Gelhardt's just done. Oh, Joe Gelhardt, what a goal that would have been. Almost made it 3, and this has not been good enough, man. Well, we've strengthened a lot with this Roma team, but at the back line, truth be told, yes, we've brought in Udogi, yes, we've brought in Leone, but ultimately, even with Pola coming in between the sticks, you have to say, looking at the team, it probably is our weakest area. And on deadline day, maybe I'll have to spend the rest of the money we've got on a star new centre-half, based on this defensive display. Oh, ball! And oh, it's off the post by Roberto. You probably think it was the right move. 2 stabs at the ball. Failed to hit the back of the net with either of them. Venezia escaped. Brilliant episode opener. But there it is. First loss of the season. And it comes on match day 2. Honeymoon period over quickly. And so as deadline day is here. And Wolfsburg have put a bid in for Simeone. And that's not a bad offer at all there from the German side. We might be able to squeeze a bit extra out of him. He's valued at, I think it's 58 million right now, but he's still got 2 years left on his deal. So whilst I said he was probably the next man to go, if anyone, if I can squeeze around, let's say, yeah, an extra 22.5 mil out of Wolfsburg, go on 81 mil, be a bit cheeky there, put an extra 1 million on there, I'll definitely take it. And again, maybe I could have undersold him, a little bit there, but that's a decent fee, and that'll raise our budget up to over £100 million. Yep, first season of a rebuild, as we said, anyone can go if they want to, and for Simeone at 29, we try and make our side younger. I'm fine with this sale here, as it will indeed raise our budget up to over £100 million. So 7 hours to go on deadline day. Let's go bring 2 or 3 new players in. I guess my question is, should we stick with what we have, call this first season growing pains, and then try and carry over that budget for next year and have a monster budget for work with in season 2? Because the team's fine. Like, the team, to be fair, is good. The first 11's really good. Yeah, that was a bit of a worrying first defeat there, but I'm sure we'll sort out and iron out the kinks in time. And maybe just bring in like a backup winger or a backup striker and then call it a day just to cover the depth. Or do we just go for like an out-and-out star on deadline day? That's the question. Because I think if we really, really wanted to, and if we included a sell-on clause, we might just be able to bring Arias to the San Siro at Arsenal right now. Even though the asking price is incredibly high, with a sell-on clause, with every penny we've got, I think we'd have just about enough money to bring him in. But how are we going to fit him into the team? Our 4-pronged attack is incredible, man. He's not going to get on the pitch. And at that rating, he just can't be on the bench, man. He's too good for that. But with that being the case, I think I'm going to stick to what I'm doing, man. Continue to assemble the Italian core, making our side younger in the process as well, and bring in a couple of backup players. There's a few wingers here I've got my eyes on. You've got Fini at Fortuna Dusseldorf right now. Absolutely rapid. He'd be great as an impact sub off the bench. You've got Wilfried Gnonto, who's moved on to Eintracht Frankfurt as well. Now at 28, they're obviously getting on a little bit. I say getting on. He's 28, Doxy boy. Come on, son. But he's not as young as we're hoping to bring in here. And I'd love to bring back João Costa, by the way, Roma Academy graduate, but right now, even though he's a bit of me with that 94 stamina, he's playing for Inter. They're a Champions League club. We're not, so I don't think that'd be realistic. But playing in the second division right now, Liberali with Catanzaro. I've mentioned before, but like, EA need to look at this. This guy is 25 years old in the prime of his career, 84 rated, and good enough to be playing international and Champions League football, and he's just sat in the Serie B, totally fine with it. Well, not anymore. I'm bringing him to Rome. Let's go bring him in. Pretty cool. It's changing it up. For the first time in the save, I had the manager of the opposition club stalling my offer. And normally when that happens, they'll then go and turn it down straight afterwards. But instead, Catanzaro agreed to it. So for a really good transfer fee of just £42.5 million and coming in on a 5-year low contract at £29.5 a week. What a bargain this could prove to be. Welcome to the Stadio Olimpico. Mattia Liberali. Yeah, serious talent, this guy. And again, whilst a winger by trade with the stats he's got, he could easily play as an attacking midfielder with a great agility, balance, and also the dribbling stat and the pass stat being 88 as well. This is a really, really tidy pickup. I am going to trust the team will be okay for the season. I believe we're good enough to win silverware of any kind. And even if the board have asked us to win the treble, I'm not going for that match. Want one trophy of any kind. The Conference League would, of course, be our best bet, or the Coppa Italia as well. Look at that for a top deal. Sunderland bringing in Rio for £110 million from Liverpool. He makes a massive move there from Anfield. Kvaratskhelia finally leaves PSG for the first time in the save, joining Atletico for £86 million. And, of course, we saw the Simeone deal going through from us to Wolfsburg for £81 million. So, £70 million still in the budget. That'll carry over till January. We can make some signings then if we want to, or leave it until the new season, which, unless we're struggling midway through the campaign, I'll probably leave all that cash and have a monster budget to work for next season. So yeah, let's jump into the following game on the back of that defeat to Venezia away from home. Heading into this one back home for it at the Stadio Olimpico, Monza. Heading into this match day 3, and like I said, I think the Stadio Olimpico will need to be a fortress if we are to have any chance challenging for a title, and definitely getting back into the top 4. So let's get straight back on track. Monza in Rome, Forza. To be fair, whilst I know this sounds a bit convenient, I don't like going to a new team and just dominating straight from the get-go. Because it's like, well, you know, kind of that's why I left my old team. Do you know what I mean? That's why I wanted a new challenge. If you skip to another then just go straight to the stage of dominating and winning every single game. Good block, Leone will drop straight to Colpani, who drills in the opener. It doesn't really give you the challenge you were looking for, but this is definitely it. Might have had a brilliant win on the opening day, but that now looks like a distant memory. Once again, for the second game in a row, we concede the first. Monza in front in Rome. I'm going to cycle through the camera angles to see if there's one I don't mind too much, which still includes shots of the stadium. But, oh, what a ball that is. And the shot. Because right there, with that shot, I thought I was going into bottom corner. In the end, it went well wide of the post 4A corner itself. And I thought I was going in bottom corner. I just can't. My depth perception has always been really, really poor. But especially so when it's at an angle. It's why, like, when I was, like, learning to drive, I just could not do it. Because I just could not see that the cars that were on the other side of the road, I always thought they were coming, like, head on. I always thought they were going to smack into this, you know, the front kind of corner of my car when I was driving. It just didn't feel right. And this is kind of the same, man. I need it, not an angle of any kind. It needs to be kind of straight, you know, head on, if you will. But 36 minutes in, I am struggling massively, man. Can't keep making excuses. I've just got to be better. Free kick, Roma, still currently down by 1. Can we find a leveler? Great delivery by Fabre, headed up in the air. Topper nods it back to Piscini, must score, and does all the time in the world to set himself shoot and hit the top corner. 1-1, now let's go win it. That's mine all day, all day. So Dogi will play it into Karuma. Piscini takes over, man out wide there. I'll try and find him in Topper. He looks so good on match day 1, not quite as good since, but that's a nice slip ball through. And Udogi will play it through himself to Kamada, who's waiting for his first goal of the season. And this will be a great time to get it, and he should have had it, but a good stop keeps it at 1-1. Unlike in Venice, I do see there being a third goal, but I think it should come to us if we keep on attacking. Looking good, looking strong, just got to hit that clinical finish and find that winner. You know, when I go to a new team, I pretty much always keep the tactics and the shape as it is. But with this Roma side, I might have to adjust it. I don't really think this 4-2-2-2 is for me, because the attacking mids are basically wingers. They're hugging the touchline, they're far too wide. If I'm not changing the shape, I'll have to change the individual roles and get Fabre and Topper a lot more central, as they'll both have to combine as dual number 10s. A 1-1 draw, back-to-back games without a win, 1 point taken for a possible 6. Anyone that thought on the back of the opening day win would walk away with a Scudetto, think again, especially heading to our following game. Next up, Inter Milan away, San Siro, one of the favourites to go and win the title once more. And I have to say, heading into this game, I am worried, man. Worried heading into this based on our defence in these past 2 games. I'll take a point in this one, even if it's winless in our last 3 games. Just anything to stop the rot. Thing is though, it's growing pains. Like I said, you've got to get used to it. You've got to start to learn how to handle it. And again, that's part of the challenge, and that's why we came to Roma as well. And like I said, even though we've rebuilt the team quite quickly in this summer window, it's why I said it. You know, it's Inter in front instantly. Like this is going to be a different challenge to the one with Lyon, because not only are we in a stronger league with a lot more parity, but not only that, we've changed the whole team. So the stars we had here, they've gone. They've been replaced. Yes, by players of similar ability, but the familiarity has gone. You know, Simeone obviously going on deadline day. Sven Botman, you know, the Austrian goalkeeper we inherited that I was so excited to be using, and so on. These are the players that have gone. And yes, we have replaced them, but it's going to take some time, man. It is going to take some time. I haven't got those stars I inherited. They've gone. The #1 goal for the season is just get this Roma team back in the Champions League. And if we can do that, then it's good enough for me. Great save by Polo, but I don't know if we'll be able to, man, because you've got to remember this Serie A is so strong, and in recent years it's been one of my favourite non-Premier Leagues and championships to watch across European football, man, because there's so much parity to it. When you think of the strength of the teams we've got to compete with for a top 4 place, the champions Juve, but then Inter, Milan, Napoli, Lazio, there's always 1 or 2 dark horses as well, don't forget that. It is going to be really hard to get this Roma team back in the top 4. It is the minimum expectation, but believe me, it is going to be a tricky one. Oh my God, it's going to be free. No, it's not. Great save by Polo and turn behind for a corner. Awful, absolutely awful defensively. And again, I contemplated bringing in a star centre-half on deadline day. Opted against it. Let's just say, based on these defensive performances, maybe that was a bad call. Already in 30 minutes, 5 shots on target. To be fair, it also shows you that the DM duo we've got, Basili and Dor. I like them both. Don't get me wrong, it's good technical players, good passes to get the ball forward to the attacking 4 we've got, but maybe I needed a better, stronger anchor man, sort of a lot more physicality, because at the moment I'm getting breached way too easily, man. Way too easily. The gameplay has got a lot more difficult since the most recent 2 patches as well, and fair play to EA for this, because we said it, the base gameplay was absolutely excellent, and why they decided to nerf it completely and ruin it through the first couple of patches, no idea, because no one asked for it, you know. Oh, how has that gone in? But the past 2 patches in particular, there was one recently, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, have been really good at increasing the difficulty, and you feel it as well. The AI are a lot more aggressive, hence these 3 games here we've been leaking goals left, right and centre, and it's great, it's far better. And again, you've got to remember, this is ultra difficult. This should be as hard as it is. And again, fair play to EA for this, because as frustrating as it is, it's a lot more realistic when you're playing on this kind of level. So I'm glad that EA have totally upped the difficulty, and they've got back to the gameplay we saw at the base release of FC 26. Better late than never, but finally it's starting to get back to as good as it was. 3-0 down away at the San Siro. Anyone that thought we would win the title? Think again. I have to change my shape though, because this is awful. There's just too many holes. As Polo makes the save with a rebound, so there's too many gaps on the pitch. The DM duo are basically nowhere to be seen. The attacking mids are far too wide, far too isolated on the flanks, hugging the touchline way too much. And yes, I know I can change that with the roles, but I'd rather change it through positional sense itself. This is going to have to be altered if we are to have any chance. Great save there, any chance whatsoever of plugging some gaps and starting to look a bit better defensively. We're going to have to change the system. Maybe this 4-2-2-2 works for a lot of people, but it definitely ain't going to work for me. Not with the players we got, and not with my play style either. Oh, Udogi's just being bullied off the ball. You are supposed to be one of my strongest players, mate. How has that happened? How has that happened? This is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare. How did we win 3-0 on the opening day? This is awful. Oh, it's a nice ball, but again, look at how exposed we are at the back. That's a how is that a pen? How is that a pen, though? I was about to say exposed at the back, and then Scalvini bails me out, but how is that a penalty? He just won the ball cleanly. And you don't get a great angle of that, but that's a brilliant tackle. That was an excellent tackle. He won the ball. Fair enough, we've been absolutely bad, so I'm not going to complain, but he won the ball, so it should never have been a pen, and that is 6. That is, I think, my heaviest defeat of my entire managerial career in FC 26. Although that wasn't a pen, at least not in my book. Well, this Roma team got off to a dream start, and since then it's turned into a nightmare of epic proportions. 6-0 defeat away at the San Siro. Am I even going to survive until the January window at this rate? Because as things stand, absolutely not. This has been a nightmare. I think we need to go a lot more central, and so I think a 4-3-1-2 might do us some good here. And if we change the player role to having Kamada as more of a target man with the strength he's got, and we'll have Endor, who won't be Endor. That'll be Fabre as a classic 10, and he'll have the free reign to go on attack, and then we can drop Tokpa down to where Fabre is here as a box-to-box, and then what I'll do is I'll have Pasili and Endor as defensive players. So we'll have Pasili as the anchor man, and then we'll have we'll have Endor as the anchor man, and we'll have Pasili as a deep line player that sits back. So one will be able to run forward a lot more, and then we'll be able to have one that sits back alongside Pasili, who sits back completely as an anchor man. I think that might work. I think that's what I'm going to go with for the following game against Napoli. And we'll end on this as well. Match day 5 on the back of only 1 win in our first 4 games. I've got to be honest, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for AS Roma out of the blocks here, despite that brilliant win on the opening day. Now looking like a distant memory. And now taking on one of the favourites for us to get Neto here at the Stadio Olimpico. With the new tactical shape, we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I'm not overly confident here. I would certainly take a point just to stop the rot. Our final game today, it is Napoli on match day 5, and already with Roma struggling, coming to the end of this game, I think we could be in the relegation zone. Let's make sure that's not the case. Massive game to end on. Forza Roma. Yeah, I think this should work a little better for us. Granted, those 2 CMs might look a little more advanced. That seems somewhat counterintuitive based on what we're trying to do here, but I think just having an extra body in the middle of the park is going to really help us. You know, I'm being overrun in midfield as my assistant manager keeps on screaming at me. There's Karima, pops it back to Pasili. Wonderfully done. Excellent build-up. What a goal this will be as Tokpa drills it in. What a start. Right from kickoff. And that is what we're looking for with our new shape. Crowding out the midfield. Extra body for more defensive positional cover. But still able to get Tokpa forward in that box-to-box role, which I would say is where we're best at. And after a brilliant goal, that's what I want to see. A picture of the centre spot. Great build-up though. Brilliant finish. And AS Roma have the perfect start here at home to Napoli. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm pleased that they've made the gameplay a lot harder with this most recent patch, and it has gone back closer to the base gameplay once more. But how have they not fixed that replay bug? Everyone knows about it, everyone's talking about it, everyone's screaming it from the rooftops. Why EA basically added in that glitch? Let's be honest here, that's what they've done, and haven't decided to fix it yet. Very frustrating indeed. But what's not frustrating is the perfect start for AS Roma. Again, big game here. Can't allow this to continue. And in the words of Mick McCarthy, it can't go on like this. It can. But let's make sure it doesn't. 13 minutes in, Luis Enrique whips in a corner. Dangerous delivery as well. Headed in and over by Bongiorno. Gilmore through the gap. Finds Bayer. Nice little offload to Ian Martin. Nice turn. Now can he thread it through? No, because Endura is there. And again, now we've got an extra body in the middle. It's going to be less direct space for a simple through ball. And coming through on the offensive end now, Fonzie trying to roll through Kamada. Still hasn't got me a goal yet this season. That was his chance, just couldn't release him. But as we still find ourselves leading by 1. Yeah, and Endura and Pasili as the duo. Physically, they're not the best anyway, so can't cover ground when they're out of position too. So this is oh, great ball. Yes, come on, first for Kamada. This is going to be a lot easier for them as a duo due to their lack of physicality. But there it is, first for Kamada. Roma 2 goals up, looking way better now with a new shape. 26 minutes on the clock, still currently leading by 2 as Bayer tries to get forward. Great dribbling, nice ball out wide as well. Luis Enrique takes his time, going to shoot from a tight angle there, you know, pops it back. Gavi will have a dig though, and he'll find the back of the net as well. Breached, finished. 2-1, Napoli half in deficit, and our run of clean sheets extends to 4. We look better defensively tonight, but proof there that we still have some kinks to iron out. 2-1, Napoli back in it. I feel confident still, but clearly proof there that despite a tactical shift, we are far from the finished article. As Fabre almost restored the 2-goal cushion. I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Pasili and Endor as CMs. They're not quite as good as I was hoping they would be. And Scott McTominay off the bench. Oh, I don't believe it. Rolls through Noah Lang, and we've conceded and dropped a 2-goal lead. 6th in 5. He's on fire, but yeah, I definitely say in January we need a new star centre-half or anchor man, because we are just getting breached far too easily. We look better with a new tactical shape, don't get me wrong, but defensive... Oh, what a ball. Defensively, something's going to have to change in January, because it's just far too easy for teams to break us down, find an opening, and get the goals. As Farnbray comes through, he just couldn't pull the trigger, and headed up in the air, and flicked away. To Topper, who controls, and gets through, and rolls it back, and turned in by Kamada. Brace for the number 9. Roma restored the lead. Come on, guys. Got to hold on to this now. Need this win. Well, that is going to do it. My goodness, did we get away with that. Bottled a 2-goal lead, but just about bailed ourselves out to win a 5-goal thriller. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't secure, but at least it was Roma back to winning ways. But that'll do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have done, please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with more games in the Serie A, aiming to gain some consistency after a rocky start, and we'll kick our Conference League campaign off as well. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.